God began to speak to me about Biafra, and I'm worried. I stopped somewhere last month, and I'm going to throw a little light on another one. And I pray that the authority concerned should listen to me. And it's a statement. Dialogue now. So that you should not be knocking the door for dialogue and there's no dialogue. That's what God told me. I keep saying it. I said there is a spirit in this young man. It is bigger than what physical eye can see. I'm not an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba man, but I'm speaking as a prophet. I said what I see in this young man is bigger than him. You see the man, the small boy that they call him, what is inside him is bigger. It's not just an ideology, it's bigger. I said, I see an animal. Which animal did I told you last time? Huh? I said what? A what? A what? A small puppy. And I say, I see a small puppy going forward. All of a sudden, I saw so many strange wild animals, lion, bear, great animals around the puppy. Then I saw the puppy look back and saw that the animals around him are so many. Suddenly the puppy, what I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. This prophetic word is not to the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time, doors are knocked, calls are made. People who are heady are saying we have come down, but these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an Igbo man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. The Bible said, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of gun, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullet, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because he's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out and there is peace in the land.
You know, as I said at the beginning of Mass, our country is being torn apart by the incapacity to reconcile. Only 6 years after our independence, in 1966, some military officers thought that the politicians were not getting things right and staged a coup. That coup set a ball rolling that eventually culminated in the worst massacre and genocide in modern African history, the Nigeria-Biafran War. Attempts at discussion, mediation failed, mainly because one of the major partners in mediation was an interested party, the British. When you are calling those who sell arms, when you are calling those who steal your minerals when you are fighting, when you are calling those who want your population to be reduced to half to come and mediate between you and your brother because you are quarreling, you can imagine the type of advice he will give you. But that is not the worst. The worst is that since after that war, no attempt has been made at reconciliation. Let us talk this thing over. My brother and friend, the Bishop of Sokoto, Matthew Hassan Kuka, has kept saying, until Nigerians sit down and discuss the injustices done to the Easterners during the war and ask for pardon for the unjust murder, there will be no peace. And let me warn those going for Biafra, we will break away, but we will carry our heart with us. Even if we break away, that does not solve the problem. Let us talk these things over. Autonomous community. Autonomous community. Then the gay jugume cannot or make a way into autonomous community about. Didn't say, no be habiale or landu will. I am no one again with tea. No be habiale, as I book, heaven do mamu, Kirielile. No be habiale, Mogana had Jericho, I am again with your nehu. Sick away. Nenugu. Avec a way your own way in the jazz and a heck and doesn't have balako. That does not solve the problem. We can no longer count the number of autonomous communities in Igbo land. And yet we have been unable even to unite and get one extra state to balance the geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Because divided, we cannot stand. Why can't we sit down? Reconciliation takes time. It needs patience. It requires love. After the war, they told us there will be reconstruction, reconciliation, and rehabilitation. As not one of those things was done. And because we have not been able to talk these things over, the injury that was done to a people is handed from one generation to another generation. Scrapping history from our curriculum in the secondary schools will not solve the problem. The problem will be solved by, let us sit down and talk these things over. And if we can't handle it, we are going to Mali to reconcile them. Whom have we invited to come and help us reconcile ourselves? In our arrogance, we don't even accept we have any problem. If it doesn't work, invite some people who are more or less neutral, who have nothing to gain by your quarrel or by your reconciliation, except that love is reigning. Invite them to help you look at this.
I'm sure you have watched this video. Now, let me know your thought and your opinion in the comment section. What I'm going to say to us is that this is not the time for us to be judging, for us to be condemning, for us to be abusing, for us to be insulted. This is the time for us to sit down and ask ourselves, what can we do so this country can be better? So things can work according to the way we want it to be. What can we do? These are some of the questions that I think we don't even ask ourselves. Every time, what most of us will think about is how can this country scatter? How can this country divide? Yes, we are all tired. If you are not tired of the things going on in the country, I'm tired. But I don't want us to ever that I don't want us to have that mindset or that thoughts of war in this country, because I've always said it. You need to understand that when it happens, it is you and I that will suffer the most. There is this popular saying that when two elephants fight, it is the ground and the grass that suffers. In this context, in this case, it is you and I that is both the ground and the grass. When these politicians start fighting, when that war that some of us are calling for starts happening, it is you and I and our family members that are going to suffer the most. So it is important for us to be careful of the things we wish for concerning this country, Nigeria. A lot of us, especially my brothers and sisters from the east, we want Biafra to come. What can we do for us to achieve that without war? These are the questions we need to ask, because listen, war is not an option at all. Don't pray for that. Don't pray for war. Yes, we want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to come out. We want Simon Ekpa to be released. We want everything to work well. We want Biafra to come, but we want to do it peacefully. I've always been talking about this book, The Art of War. The book teaches you how to win battles without fighting. That is what we must be looking at. How can we achieve all these things without fighting? Let's be looking at all those things. This thing that some of us says, let's go to war, let that happen, let this happen, is not an option. The men of God, they have spoken. They have said what God has shown them. Now, another duty we have is to go to God in prayer. And one prayer I've always asked us to pray is that we should pray for the will of God to be done in our country, Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Forget about all the things you are saying. Let us pray for the will of God to be done. And I want you to know this. If God's will is for Nigeria to divide, even Tinubu cannot stop it. It may tarry, but it will surely come to pass. It may not happen right now, but it will surely come to pass. Just understand, know what God's will is. Know what God's will is for Nigeria, so that you understand what you are dealing with. Because if God's will is for Nigeria to remain as one, you are fighting a losing battle. Because the Bible made us understand that if God is not there, he said that the watchman watcheth in vain. He said that the builder buildeth in vain. If God's hand is not in this agenda, it is in vain. It is in vain, because there is this saying that if God be for you, who can be against you? Now change it and ask yourself, if God be against you, who can be for you? Ask yourself that question. If God's will is for Nigeria to remain one, to remain as one, do you want to fight God? Who can battle with the Lord? Can you fight God? No. So that is why it is important for us to understand what the will of God is for our country, Nigeria, before we start making creating problems, doing the things that are not supposed to be done. Yes, if you have been following me, I've always been of the opinion that Nigeria is not treating the Igbo man well. Even Joshua Iginla have said it. A lot of people have said it. Nigeria is not treating them well. Why can't you allow these people to also rule this country, Nigeria? Are they not Nigerians? Are they not Nigerians? All these things, the politics in this country is too much. And that is why you see the Igbos agitating, calling for Nigeria to be divided. But I feel that if a leader who understands how to manage and rule a country comes into power, Nigeria will be better. Give everybody equal chance. Give the Igbos what they deserve. Give Yoruba what they deserve. Give Hausa what they deserve. Another thing I feel I have always been suggesting is practicing confederation system of government. I don't know if I got that right. Where every region have to manage their own resources. Every region manage your own resources. Easterners will have like an Eastern president. North will have a Northern president. South will have a Southern president. Then you rule your own people. Manage your own resources and then report back to the federal government with a percentage, like you are paying tithes or tax to them. But let every region manage their own resources. We will still remain as Nigeria. We'll have something like the United States of Nigeria. Or we'll make it every state manage your resources. That way nobody will feel cheated. You will not say you are taking my money from the state and go and develop another person's state, because that is practically what is happening in this country. Niger Delta, Rivers State, they produce at least 70% of the Nigeria oil, if I'm not mistaken. But look at Rivers State, look at Niger Delta. Where is the development? There is no working refinery here. Nothing is working. But I believe that if we start managing our own resources, the development, it will be massive. It will be massive. The seaport we have here is really not working. Nothing is working because some people have decided to colonize everything. The channel sun to the north, to the west. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So please, let's try to understand all these things. I'm not against Biafra. I'm not also against Nigeria. What I want is for anything that is going to promote peace and unity. Is anything that is not going to destroy your life and your properties. That is what I want. I want the will of God to be done in this country, Nigeria. And that is my own heartfelt cry. I want the will of God to be done in Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do to subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell so whenever I post another video, you will notified for you. Turn a subscriber. I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for always stopping by to watch our video. We love and appreciate the support you give us on this channel. Please don't forget, share this video on social media platform, share with your friends and all them. God bless us to do so. I'll see you in the next one. You are blessed.